Welcome back to GM Philosophy in the Morning. Smash that subscribe button. Let's go. Fast tips to make D&D more fun. Use more common sense and fewer rules as written. When something unexpected happens in the game, instead of spending 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes looking it up in the book, use just common sense and make a ruling. Now, spells are different. You can't really do this with spells, but you can do this with things like called shots. My friend and I the other night were talking about making called shots in D&D, and I basically described to him how I run called shots, which is just like this. Someone says, I want to shoot the sword out of his hand. I think to myself, how much harder would that be? I apply a negative, or maybe even disadvantage, whatever. Then I think to myself, how much damage needs to be done before the sword will drop? And I assign an HP value, and then I think to myself, what if he misses the called shot, but he still makes the normal armor class? Does he still hit? Like, what if this hand is in front of the body? He misses the hand, hits center mass. Would he still do damage? I think to myself, what are the odds of that happening? And then I roll percentiles, or actually I have them roll percentiles. If they do miss the called shot, but they make the shot, right? So they can still do damage. In other words, a lot of times we overthink the rules with TTRPGs, even with D&D. We overthink the rules when we can really do a lot with like common sense. I think of cover in the same way. A lot of times I'll kind of ignore cover unless an enemy thinks of it. Then I'll just use a common sense percentile. It's like, are they half cover? Boom, 50% chance of missing. Is the friendly in cover that's covering a third of their body? Boom, 33% chance. Making common sense rulings is an awesome way to avoid a lot of time spent digging through the rules. And so, hey, this is your daily reminder. Just use some common sense rulings. If you're not sure what the rules are, it's fine. If your players have an issue with it, just say, hold on, I'm the game master. Roll those dice. We're doing it this way. And then you can talk about it after the game. And remember this, sometimes players get really surly at GMs who try to make common sense rulings that those players don't agree with. But listen, this is so rude. As a player, I would never argue with the game master over common sense ruling they're making. They're trying to run a good game. You as a game master, you're trying to run a good game. Players should not be rude to you about that. If players are rude to you about that, remember that you are not the problem. As long as you're being kind, you're being respectful, you're trying to run a great game, and you're trying your very best to facilitate the game moving along fast in a method that's going to make the game better for everyone, then you have really nothing to feel bad about, okay? Just because you're not specifically spending 10 minutes looking up a rule does not make you a bad GM. In fact, it makes you a better GM when you keep the game moving, keep that action flowing. All the other players will thank you for it, that their turn didn't take an hour to get to. Instead, they got to it in 3 minutes. This makes a big positive difference. So, hey, use those common sense rulings. Don't let people bother you. And boom, there's your fast daily tip. I'm here every single day creating videos about the best game in the world, D&D. I also go live at 1 p.m. every weekday for Coffee Break Live. So, hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, join my Discord in the description, and boom, let's go. I'll see you on the next one.